Hey guys, well, today I'm going to be explaining the homework number one. I know that I promised in the last weeks that I'll be solving the homeworks with you so you can have a better idea of how to be studying for the topics. So during the first homework, they're going to be seeing the first 10 topics. They're not hard, they're not difficult. So I took some screenshots from your homework. I already have the correct answer. Uh, if you want, you can only search the answer with me, but I will be explaining the logic, all the theory behind how do I solve any of this. So I'll begin with the first problem. In this case, they're asking us to be finding an angle measures given two parallel lines cut by a transversal. In this case, how should I begin? They are giving us one value. In this case, they are saying that the angle 1, in this case this one, is equal to how much? 121 degrees. They're asking us to be solving for angle number 6 and in number 8. 6 and 8 are these ones. Remember, we should be seeing this angle as this one, like this. Any two parallel lines divided by a transversal line, in this case this is the transversal line, this one, its values are going to be the same. For example, 1 and 3 are going to be the same. Why? Because of the property of vertical angles. Please take notice of this because, as you know, we have seen that this property is repeated in some problems involving triangles. So remember this logic again. Number 5 and number 6, these angles are going to be the same. Also, number 5 and number 7. Why? Because they are uh, the same. If you can see, we can see these parallel lines divided like this, and these angles should be the same because they are the same line divided by this parallel. So the logic, the theory is that angles number 1, 3, 5, and 7 are of the same value. Now, now that we know that, we can also make, or we can also see that angles number 2, 4, 6, and 8 are going to be of the same value. I'm going to be writing this here. Angle 2 equals to angle 4, and this is equal to angle 6, and this is equal to angle 8. I'll be writing the other angles also. Angle 1 equals, remember, this symbol means angle. In this case, the angle in number 1, the angle in number 3, that is equal to the angle in number 5 and equal to the angle in number 7. That is correct. So, this is the first part that you need to know about this logic. Okay, I'm going to be not that far. Okay, this is good. I'm going to be okay. Now, they are asking us to be solving for which angles? Remember, the first thing you need to notice is what are they asking of us to be solving for, because they're only asking us to solve for number 6, the angle number 6 and number 8, meaning number 6 and number 8. So we know number 6 and number 8 are the same, they are the same value. So having solved for number 6 or number 8 is going to be the same value. That is correct. So what else do we know? We already know the value of angle number 1. That is angle number 1 equals 121 degrees. So remember, we're going to be using uh, supplementary. Sorry about this. We're going to be using the properties of supplementary angles, which means there are angles divided by a diagonal. In this case, this one and this one. And how much is the value of this? If I choose it to be the color white, the whole angle here is going to be 180 degrees. Okay, it's not that hard. Now, we know that the angle in number 1 is the same as the angle in number 6. So we can say that 6 and 5 and 6 are of the same, are supplementary angles. So the addition, the sum of these two angles is going to be equal to 180 degrees. So I can write angle number 5 plus angle number 6 equals 180 degrees. Angle number 5 is the same as angle number 1, as we can see here. So angle number 5 is going to be equal to 121 degrees. Now, using the logic of sub, not subtracting, but giving the value of 121 to angle number 1 is going to be 121 degrees plus the angle number 6 equals 180 degrees. Now isolating for the angle 6 is going to be angle 6 equals 180 degrees minus y, because this is a plus and it goes to the other side with the opposite sign, so it's going to be this one. Angle number 6 is going to be 180 degrees minus 121, and using the help of my calculator that I have here in my hand, I really recommend you to have your scientific calculator, because during your test you're not going to be allowed to be using your phone. So 180 degrees minus 129 equals, that is correct, 59 degrees. So we have solved for, we have known that angle number 6 is 59 degrees. We know that angle 6 is the same as angle 8, so we can also put that angle 8 equals 59 degrees. So this is the final answer. As you can see, angle 6 equals 59 degrees and angle 8 equals 59 degrees. Okay, I'm going to be putting this way so you can have a better look. Now I'm going to be going to the next problem. In this case, this is really fun. This is easy to understand because this is only logic. The theory, the logic behind this The knowledge is that acute angles, angles that are less than 90 degrees, they are acute angles. For example, this one, if this is an equilateral, which means that all triangles are going to be 60 degrees. Remember, acute means less than 90 degrees. In now, a right angle. Right angle means that their angle is exactly 90 degrees. Okay? I can put it like this, for example, and their symbol, if you remember, is this little square. If during a triangle it has this little square in one of their points, means that their angle is equal to 90 degrees. Now we're going to the obtuse angles. This means, okay, this means that their angle is more than 90 degrees. For example, if I were to put an angle like this, I could put it like 120 degrees, which means that is 50, 60, that is 30, and this is, oh no, sorry about that. We can continue with this one. This one is going to be also 30 degrees, but we need to focus on this part. As we can see, this is bigger than 90 degrees, so this is the obtuse angle. So this ones, as this is less than 90 degrees, this is an acute angle. Okay, now going with the exercise. They're asking us angle number 8. We need to identify angle number 8, which is the one that is on the point number 8. Its value is 70 degrees. We compare 70. 70 is less, is equal, or is more than 90 degrees. The answer should be it is less. So as this is less, like this one, means that the angle is acute. Now, number B. Number B is here, B is here. B, which is the value of B? 120 degrees. Again, we should make the question. Is it less, equal, or more? In this case, it is more, meaning it is bigger than 90 degrees. So angle number B is obtuse. Now angle in point C. Point C is this one. This one means I will put it here. Angle C equals 60 degrees. Again, the question is less, equal, or more than 90 degrees. We make the question. We check. 60 is less than 90 degrees. So that makes it, that's right, an acute angle, like this one. That makes it an acute. Now, for the final one is D. This one, D. D, how much? D is 90 degrees. That is less, equal, or more than 90 degrees. That is correct. The answer is equal. As it is equal, that means that that angle is a right one. Okay, so this is the answer. Now remember, this one means more than. This symbol means that is equal to, and this one means that is less than. Uh, I know that I ask of you to be solving this, to be having your notes. Just do this logic. If you can only be writing this one, I will take that into account for your grading. Now, going to the next one. In this case is going to, yes. This one, identifying supplementary and vertical angles. Remember what I said before? I don't know, but I will explain again. Remember, the property of vertical angles means that any angles that are opposite by the point means that they are the same. For example, I'm going to be putting this one as angle number 1 and angle number 2. Following the property of vertical lines means that angle number 1 is the same as angle number 2. That is the property of vertical angles. Vertical angles or opposite angles. Mhm. Remember, vertical angles is the same as opposite angles by this point, by the vertex. Now, you remember the supplementary angle? The supplementary angle is the one that the sum of its angles are going to be 180 degrees. For example, again, in this case, I'm going to be angle number 3 and angle number 4, only for the example, meaning that angle number 3 plus angle number 4 is going to be 180 degrees. During your diagram, the figure is going to be easy because it's going to be a line divided by another line. As you can see here, they're asking us to be putting the supplementary angles and the vertical angles. Remember, this is what we need to be finding. Okay, so supplementary angle. Which of these two angles or a sum of these angles are going to be equal to 180 degrees if I were you? This means that the angle is going to be angle number 1 and angle number 2. I'm going to be writing this one because they are not letting me write there. So it's going to be, for example, like this one. Going to be putting the angles. For example, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. If I were to put any number, I can choose the one that are consecutive. For example, supplementary, they are giving us the answer. They're giving us 7 and 8. We can prove this. 7 and 8, they are consecutive, meaning that the addition of these two angles are going to be equal to 180 degrees. But as we can put 7 and 8, we can also put angle 1 and angle 2. As you can see, these are consecutive, they're the same. We can also put angle 1 and angle number 3 because they are consecutive divided by a line. As you can see, we can also put angle number 3. But of number 1, in this case I put again number 1, we cannot put this one and 4. This is wrong. I'm going to be putting this is wrong. Why? Because the sum of these ones is not going to be 180, but they are opposites. They are vertical angles. So I'm going to be putting this one vertical angles. We can put them as angle number 1 and angle number 4. As well, I can be putting angle number 2 and angle number 3. Again, these parts, a pair would be angle number 5 and angle number 8, as well as angle number 6 and angle number 7. As we can see, they decided that they wanted to be using number 1 and number 4, so we can confirm that these ones are vertical angles. And supplementary angles, we can say 1 and 2, 1 and 3. We can also put angle 2 and 4, 2 and 4. What else? 5 and 6. Which one? Which else? Number 5 and number 7. As you can see, 5 and 7, they're consecutive. We already have 5 and 6. We are missing 6 and 8. So during the exercise, they decided that they wanted. We can also have, we have 5 and 6. We have 7 and 8. 7 and 8. We also have 3 and 4. So you can choose from any of these lists. As you can see, we need to be finding. There is not only one correct answer. We have a bunch of numbers of pairs to be choosing from. In this case, the exercise decided that they wanted only 7 and 8, and this one 1 and 4. But this is the logic. Just remember this, my dear students. Now we're going to exercise number 4. I don't remember how much I have taken explaining this, but this is going to be easy. Okay, these are solving an equation involving complementary and supplementary angles. Remember, a complementary angle will be a right angle divided by a line, which means that angle number 1 and angle number 2 plus angle number 2 is going to be equal to exactly 190 degrees. And this is complementary. Now we're going to the supplementary which means its angles is going to be a flat line divided by a line. In this case, I'm going to be naming this as angle 3 and this is as angle 4. So it is angle number 3 plus number 4 equals 190 degrees. So to be solving this, first we need to identify which of these figures, if it is a complementary or a supplementary angle. In this case, it is a complementary angle, as we can see, because it is a 90 degrees. How do I know it is 90 degrees? Because remember, this little square, this little box here, means that this is a right angle. Remember, in this case it will be like this. If it has this figure here, means that it is a right angle. Now, they're giving us an equation. In this case, it's going to be angle 1 equals 2x and angle 2 equals how much? That is correct, x plus 54. Now we're going to be putting the figure here. It is a right angle divided by angle number 1 and angle number 2. So if we put it like this, it's going to be angle number 1 plus angle number 2 equals 90 degrees. We substitute 1 equals 2x. So I'm going to be putting 2x plus how much is angle number 2? That is correct. X plus 54. And how much that is going to be? It is going to be 90 degrees. You remember how to be solving this? We need to put all the values with the x to one side of the equations, and the value that it has not an x is going to be to the next one. So in this case, it's going to be 2x plus x equals the 90 that we already have in this place, and now we put the 54 to the other side, but it goes with a minus. Why? Because of the opposite sign. Its opposite is a subtraction. In this case, minus 54. To be solving this, remember, it is like we had the coefficients. The coefficient is the number that is in the front of the x. In this case, it is not written, but it is a 1. So 2 plus 1 is going to be 3x. That is equal 90 minus 54. I'm going to be using my dear calculator. 90 minus 54. 36. We continue. We need to isolate for x. X is going to be along here, so we put the 3 that is multiplying, it goes to the other side, dividing, so it is 36 minus 3. X equals, that is correct, 12. We needed to be solving this before we need to substitute. Why? Because they are asking us to have the value of 1 and 2. So we know the value of 1 is going to be 2 times, what is the value of x? That is correct, 12. So I can put that, and no, x no. It was never x. It means that angle 1 is going to be, how much is 2 times 12? That is correct, 24. Angle 1 equals 24 we can check. It is already the correct answer, but there is another method to be using to prove that this is correct. Now this one is going to be 12 plus 54. Angle number 2 is going to be, what is 12? 66. But if I'm writing a lot, is because, no, that is correct. Because I was taught this way. For me, it was to be solving this or you get nothing. So it's going to be the whole values 1 and 2. 1 equals 624 and number 2 equals 66. But we also need to be proving this. Angle 1 is how much? 24. I'm going to be using, yes, yellow. Angle 1 is 24. Remember, angle 1 equals 24. And angle 2 is going to be, how much? That is correct, 66. And doing this, addition is going to be, that is correct, 90 degrees, which means that this is correct because remember the sum of these two angles is going to be 90 degrees. Okay, we go to the next one. Yes, this one is easy. They are giving us that the segment G, in this case this one, and this one, H, are the same, are is parallels, which means that they are not going to be intersecting. This is the meaning of being parallel. G is parallel to H. Now it is intersecting by, I think is I can see very well, but we're going to be using the properties. They're asking us to find the value of y and the value of x. How can I begin? Remember, if we put again number to the angles, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, it was my bad, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We can put that angle number 1 is equal to angle number 5 and angle number 2 is equal to the angle number 6. This is going to be very important. Why? Because we can choose whichever we want to put the value of y here in number 1 or to put the value of 85 in number 6. I'm going to be doing the later. So we know that using the property of supplementary angles means that angle number 5 plus angle number 6 is going to be 180 degrees. That is how I begin with my equation. Yes, I'm going to you can put a pause and you can see the values. 5 plus 6 equals 180 degrees. Why? Because of supplementary angles. That is the reason why. Now, we have the value of y of the value of 5 is equal to y. That's correct. Plus, how much I said was the value of 6? 6 was the value of 2. 2 is 85. 2 is 85 degrees. So, number 6 is going to be 85 again. Uh, we put the equation 180. Remember, we put the values with letters to one side and the other ones to the other. It's going to be y equal to 180 degrees minus 85. That is going to be, no, this was 85, right? It's going to be 95. So I put it again here. Y equals 95. That is here, as we can see, it is already answered here. Y equals 95. Why? Because of this. Now we can find the value of x. Remember, now we're going to be using vertical angles. The property of vertical angles, which means number 5 is going to be equal to 8. Why? Because they are opposite. We put it this way. Now, number 5 equals y. And that is the value of 4. Number 8 is the value of 4x minus 9. We already have the value of y. Y equals 95. So we can put 95 here equals 4x minus 9. We can choose to be putting x's or the value with the numbers to the one to the left or the right. In this case, I'm going to be putting them to the left. As you can see, we're going to be changing some numbers here, some values, not values, the signs. So it's going to be minus 4x. Remember, it is plus here, it goes to the other side with the opposite sign. So is minus 4x equals minus 9. No, we begin with the minus 9. Why? Because it stays here, so the sign doesn't change, and the 95 it changes, is 9, and it's 95. I'm going to be continue here. It's going to be minus 4x equals minus 9 minus 95. If we do this operation, it's going to be minus 104 equals, we put the whole multiplication including the minus 1 to the other side dividing, so it's going to be minus 104 over minus 4. X is going to be, remember, because these ones are, the signs is over, they're not the same, they cancel each other, so it's going to be a positive number. Minus over minus is positive, so it's going to be 104 over 4. It gives us 26. This is going to be 26. This is what they are asking for us to do, to be solving for x. Why? Because in your homeworks, I noticed that you wanted to be solving x, to be solving how much was the x, and putting the value of 8 here. But they are not asking that. They are asking for you to solve for x. In this case, only the x. So the value is 26. Okay, so we may continue. Okay, this is going to be, again, you need to remember complementary and supplementary. I'm going to be explaining again. Supplementary, how much? 180 degrees. Complementary, how much? 90 degrees. So, in this case, they're saying that and angle is already 126. They're asking us for a supplement. The supplement is 180. So they're asking for the another angle. So it's the first angle. In this case, I put angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees. We said that the angle 1 is equal to 126 degrees minus the value of this one. This one is here. The value of 2 is going to be 180 degrees minus 126, which is 54. Angle 2 is 54. Is this correct? I can check. Yes, the first angle, the supplement, is going to be 54. Now the complement. Remember, complement is 90 degrees. So we put again angle, and they're saying that the angle measures 45. So it's angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. Again, the same operation. We substitute the first one, 45 degrees. This is going to be angle number 2 equal 90 degrees minus 45 degrees. So angle 2 equals 45 degrees. So this is going to be the answer. Okay, easy, right? Now to the next one. You can say this may be difficult, but just do it slow. The slow and easy wins the race. So I put it like this, like this. I'm going to be writing the first one. 1, and this one is 2. They are giving us some values. 1, how much is the value of 1? 7x, that's right. They're giving us in parentheses. Now angle 2 is how much? Is here. Again, in parentheses, x minus 12. Okay, now we know that this angle is going to be, I'm going to put it right in here, supplementary. And this is the value of 180. I'm going to be continuing because this is angle 1 plus 2 equals 180 degrees. Now we only substitute. The first one is 7x plus, and 2 is x minus 12 is equal to how much? That is correct, 180 degrees. If you can see, this is the answer for the equation, this one. You need to be writing this one. Well, not only writing, but coming to this conclusion, only substituting the values that gives you 180 degrees. Now, this is for part A. Now for part B. I will put it here, A. Now for B. For B, they're asking us to be finding the value of 1 and 2. How do we begin? We need to find the value of x, because we don't know that, and substitute in your angles, in angles 1 and angle 2. This was very ugly. So this is the concept. What do we need to be doing? How do we begin? Solving this equation. Solving this equation. How do we begin? 7x plus x minus 12 equals 180 degrees. We need to isolate, to put all the values of x to the left and all the values without any letter to the right. So it is going to be 7x plus x is equal to 180 minus 12. Now we add them to be 8x equals 180 minus 12. Now we're going to be doing this part. Is going to be 100. 8x equal 162. No, sorry, it's going to be 168. We continue in this part. X is going to be how much? 168 over 8. Continue, the value of x is going to be 8.5. Okay. Okay, it seems that I did a little mistake before. Sorry about that. I'm going to be erasing this part. Why? I'll explain it here. Because this part. As you can see here, the value of 12 was negative. It goes to the other side positive. So it's going to be 12. Now, again, 8x is going to be how much? 192. X is going to be 192 over 8. So x is going to be that makes more sense. 24. This is the value of x. Now remember we're going to be substituting in 1 and 2. Going to be going a little down. Here we have the values for angle 1 is going to be 7x. We substitute the x is going to be 7 times 24. We do this operation, it's going to be 7 times 24, 168. So we put it right here, angle 1 is 168. Now for 2, angle number 2 is going to be how much? Correct, x minus 12. We continue, x is going to be 24. 24 minus 12 is how much? 12, right? Angle 2 is going to be 12. How do we know if this is right? Remember this operation? We have already have the values of 1 and 2, so we only make them, let's add them to see if this is true. Remember, angle 1 plus angle 2 is going to be 180 degrees. Angle 1 is 168 plus how much is angle 2? 12. That is 180. We made the operation. 180 equals 180. So we know that is correct. As we can see, the value of 1 and 2 is 168 and 12. We go above and we see that is correct. Yay! Now to the next one. They're asking to having the values of these operations. Remember, again, we're going to be using vertical angles, which means their opposite angles are going to be the same. This is the same as angle 2. And the supplementary are how much? 180 degrees. Now we begin. They're asking us to solve for 4. 4 is how much? 4 is already giving us the value of 127 degrees. They're asking us to find the value of 1, 2, and 3. As they are vertical, remember, vertical angle, we can say that angle 4 is the same as angle 2, which is 127 degrees. To be erasing this part, these are the same. Why? Because of this property. Just remember this. 127. So the first value is given. It's okay. Now, using supplementary, we know that angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, so angle 1 plus angle 4 is going to be 180 degrees. We substitute. Well, in this case, angle 1 is not, but angle 4 is how much? 127. That is 80. We solve for 1. This case is 180 minus 127. Angle 1 is how much? That's correct, 53. That is this one. That is 53. Going to be writing. This one is 127 degrees. And again, with the vertical angle property, angle 3 is again 53. So we only put them here, and that is the correct answer. I'm going to almost the last one. They're going to be having the values of x and c. This is the value of c, and this is the value of x. First, we need to know what can we do. In this case, you can use the property of supplementary, meaning 180 degrees. In this case, this angle, if we put it 1 and this is 2, are going to be how much? That is correct, 180 degrees. Now we only substitute angle 1 using this one. Going to be 13x minus 15 plus how much? 6x minus plus 81 is 180 degrees. We're going to be putting the x's to the left, so it's 13x plus 6x, and the next one 180 degrees with how much? Negative, it goes to the other side, positive, and this one positive, it goes to the other side. That's correct, negative, minus 81. So we make the operations. In this case, it's going to be 19x is equal to 180 minus 81 plus 15, 114. We continue with the operation. It's going to be 114 over 19, and x is going to be 6. That is the correct value, 6. They ask us to find the value of x. Remember, only the value of x, which means that the value is 6. Now they're asking to find the value of c. We can do it two ways, using supplementary, meaning you have to be using c plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees, or we can use the other property that I have told you before, the vertical angles, which means C is going to be equal to angle 1. So C is going to be, the angle 1 is 13x minus 15. We substitute, in this case x is 6, so 13 times 6 minus 15. C is going to be, how much is 13 plus 6? 78 minus 15, and C is going to be 63. That is the correct answer. As you can see, C is 63. We solve this one. Now, to this one. It's going to be easy. Just remember, array is going to have a beginning, I think beginning. I don't remember how to write the beginning. It's going to have a starting point and passes through a point. That is array. This one, letter A. A is going to be starting from point A. Is going to be going through point B, and it continues. How to? That's how we identify that is array. How do we write that? It is a line that begins in A. A, even though it is to the right, it starts on A, it goes through B, and we can represent it with this one. It starts in A and goes and goes and goes and passes through B. That's how we write it. Now, a segment. Segment means that it starts and ends. It has a starting and an ending. In this case, it starts, or it is a point from D and C. You can put it like this. As you can see, there is a line segment, only meaning apart. So we write it like this, D to C. Now, a line. A line is going to be passing through some points. It doesn't have an ending nor a begin. It doesn't start and it doesn't begin and it doesn't end. As we can write it like, in this case we only write the 2 points. In this case is E and F, and it goes like this from E through F. That's how we identify that is a line, and it's going like this one. So this is all for the homework one. I hope it wasn't too tedious, but I hope you can study this, and good luck in your exams. I'll be solving your problems A to, now your homework 2 in a few more minutes. Good luck.